After spending weeks in the desert landscape of the American Southwest, National Parks traveler Mikah Meyer is happily immersing himself in the cooler climate of America's Pacific Northwest. Along with the cooler temperatures, he found pristine waters, lush rainforests and snow-capped mountains at Olympic National Park in Washington state. He shared highlights of his experiences with VOA's Julie Taboh.
National Parks traveler Mikah Meyer began his adventure into Olympic National Park in the northwest corner of Washington state by crossing an unusual bridge.
It's actually a floating bridge because submarines go underneath it, and the tide here is so high that they had to make it floating.
Encountering the local wildlife was another highlight.
As you can see here, the deer are not at all scared of humans. And this is the view from the Hurricane Ridge Visitor Center.
In a mountainous area of the park called Hurricane Ridge, Mikah watched the landscape transform.
And look at the way the clouds are just moving into this pristine view, making it a non-view.
Lake Crescent is considered by many to be the crown jewel of the park.
My favorite part about Lake Crescent so far is just how isolated and pristinely quiet it is. There's people on flotation devices, there's kayaks, small boats, but in general it's very calm, free from a lot of commercialization many American lakes experience.
Just an hour away from the lake, Mikah found unspoiled beaches.
Here on Second Beach at Olympic National Park, you can see some of the amazing rock formations that are still out in the middle of the ocean with the trees growing on them.
He also came across many fallen trees, covering large areas of the beach.
This really shows the diversity of all the areas that this park has to offer.
Oh, there comes the tide.
From cold, stark beaches, Mikah ventured into one of the few old-growth temperate rainforests in North America.
Check out the lush green vegetation in this creek here in the Taboh rainforest. According to the ranger, what makes this place so special and makes it a rainforest is that the ground never really dries out. It never gets hot enough to lose its moisture, and it never stops raining long enough to not replenish it.
And there is more than trees, ferns, and moss in the Taboh rainforest.
You can see a fast-moving river coming down from the mountain peaks, and wonderful to be here on a nice sunny day instead of on one of the days where they get some of the 12 to 14 feet of rain that the Taboh rainforest receives every year.
Mikah had a little fun in the calmer waters of Lake Crescent before ending his day in the vast and diverse Olympic National Park.
One of my final views of the national park, and it's a pretty one.
Julie Taboh, VOA News, Washington.
Now, Mikah Meyer joins us via Skype from Lake Junaluska in North Carolina. Mikah, very warm welcome to you to Africa 54.
Hi, thanks. So excited to be here.
Now, tell me, first of all, what inspired you to do this?
Yeah, well, I lost my dad to cancer when I was 19 years old, and so it really taught me a lesson about life being short and need to pursue our dreams while we're alive and do so. So I made it a goal that when I turned 30, I would do one of my life goals as a way to share this message with the world and hopefully inspire other people to follow their dreams, no matter what they may be.
Now, tell me what your experience has been like since you started this journey.
Yeah, so it's been really incredible so far. I've been to 47 of the lower 48 states in the United States, and including the territories of Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So I have seen 248 incredible sites, some of America's most natural wonders, some of our most important historic sites. And it's really given me a better understanding of what it means to be an American and what it means to be in this landscape that is America.
Now, Mikah, you say you want to traverse through all 417 national parks, and you've already gone through 248. What stands out in those national parks? Which one is most memorable so far?
Yeah, so one of my favorite examples is Dinosaur National Monument. And the reason I enjoy it so much is that it's not one of the capital N, capital P 59 national parks that most people think of when they think of the National Park Service. It's a national monument, so it doesn't get a lot of attention. But actually, it's this amazing natural landscape with rivers and canyons and large green plateaus and rolling hills and snow-capped mountains. It's got everything you could want in any National Park Service site all in one package. And so Dinosaur National Monument is definitely one of my favorites.
So now, when do you plan to complete this adventure?
Yeah, so it's a 3-year project, and as long as I don't run out of money, the plan is to finish on April 29th, 2019, which will be exactly 3 years after I started. So I've got about another 18 months to go before I finish.
I'm just curious, you've been posting videos and photographs of this. Are you having any sponsors behind you, helping you out with this?
Sorry, I didn't catch the question.
Do you have any sponsors? Are you being sponsored by anybody? Because this is a lot. Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you, sorry.
Mikah, I'm just curious because this takes a lot of money to go to all these places, shoot the video. Do you have any sponsors? Are you getting any funding?
Totally. So I spent 10 years saving up as much money as I could, working as many jobs as I could. And when I started this, national park experts told me I only had 1/5 of the amount of money that it would take to accomplish it. However, because people have been donating on my website, tbcmicah.com, I've been able to stay on the road thanks to the generosity of strangers who have basically helped keep me in my van and keep me visiting parks. So it's a combination of working really hard for 10 years to save up money, and then also working from the road and the generosity of strangers who help make this world record possible.
So what do you want Americans to know and our viewers in Africa? Because this is like a virtual tour for us who are not able to get to those places.
You know, what's so amazing about this journey is that I'm going to places that the media usually doesn't cover. These are natural landscapes and historic markers that don't really get the attention that they deserve. And so what I'm so happy I'm able to share are these amazing hidden gems in my country for the whole world to see through VOA.
So wonderful to see them as well. Thank you so much, Mikah, for joining us today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here from my van.
All right. Mikah Meyer is a U.S. National Parks traveler.